one of the first times I like interacted with him, he lived next door to me in Towers. My first interaction with him, he was drinking Bovril, and I was like, bro, I didn't say it like this, but I was like, bro, what are you doing? And he was like, yeah, I'm just drinking Bovril. Like, I thought that was gravy.
Drink, yeah,
but he was drinking it like it was tea.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to 30 Years and Running. I'll be your host, Christian, and each week my friends and I will be looking at life seen through the eyes of 30-somethings. Whether it's things like dating, social media, or mental health, we'll be looking at the past, present, and future of being in your 30s.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, as I say.
Welcome.
We've sidetracked, but anyway, welcome to 30
up?
Years and Running. I am back here with my boy Jason.
What up?
And we are doing part 2 of talking about uni. So again, like we talked about part 1, where again, just for context, like Jason and I went to uni at Loughborough for 3 years, and we started talking about everything to do with uni, like nights out, freestyling. Like I said before, Jason's like, I know you get embarrassed by this, but you're generally like one of the dopest, probably the dopest freestyler that I've ever met.
I'm not sure
as well.
about that, but yeah.
But we were talking about like how we used to freestyle on like nights out, like when we were pre-drinking and stuff like that. So apparently half an hour or 30-something minutes wasn't enough to cover it. So we're just going to carry on that.
Keep chatting.
Carry on that chat as well. So So basically where I wanted to pick up was, and we were talking about this off camera, is so when I went to uni, it sounds kind of weird to say this, but throughout that 3 years, I learned more on the kind of the social side of things than I learned educationally. And what I mean by that is, if you ask me anything to do with, so my degree was in English and Sports Science, if you ask me anything to do with those, I could probably tell you very minimal stuff about that. But I learnt more in terms of living with people, managing money, interacting with boys and girls. So like I went to like an all boys school like all my life.
Is it?
Same. Interact with people from different areas as well. So like I've obviously grown up all the time in South London, so like this was the first time when I was really interacting with people from up north, who, by the way, are like the nicest people you will ever meet.
Drink a solid pint quite quickly, can't they?
Not even pint. So like my friend Jimmy, right, he's from Burnley, or he's from Oswald Twistle. Do you remember Jimmy actually? Actually, you didn't see me in first year, so you might not know him. But like Jimmy is like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Yeah. But one of the first times I like interacted with him, he lived next door to me in Towers. My first interaction with him, he was drinking Bovril, and I was like, bro, I didn't say it like this, but I was like, bro, what are you doing? And he was like, yeah, I'm just drinking Bovril. Like I thought that was gravy.
Drink, yeah.
But he was drinking it like it was tea. But like that's all the stuff that you kind of learn when you kind of live with people. So like, I say this all the time to people, like the thing I'm most grateful with at uni is I learned just how to be more of an adult, and just, like I say, do the more adult stuff of living with people or just interacting with people with different kind of cultures and accepting what they kind of do and learning things from them and all that kind of stuff. So that's one of the bits from uni that I think is the most cool.
No,
really.
I'd agree. I mean, for me personally, like I lived in Cayley. So the way Cayley works is you live in a block of 12. So you've got like a little house with a block of 12 where you share a kitchen. You've each got your own bathroom, but you share a kitchen. You share like common rooms. 6 girls, 6 boys. And for me, it was the first time I'd experienced that. But I guess I didn't really get on with the people I lived with.
Fair enough.
So my first...
Tell me, was it catered or was it self-catered?
It was catered Monday to Friday.
Right.
And then self-catered at the weekend. So it was great in terms of Monday to Friday you could eat. And then I'll be honest, I don't think I cooked once in the year I was there. I literally just go and get like a pizza or like just survive on junk on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough that I had a Nigerian girl upstairs, Margaret, who I still like proper close friends with today. So
I know.
Yeah, Margaret.
I think it's
Maggie.
Maggie.
Yeah. I don't know. I call her Margaret. That's Maggie.
It's fair formal.
Yeah, but I agree. It's like you learn a lot. It's like the first, embarrassingly, maybe I shouldn't say this on here, but like obviously I live with my parents all the time. They do my washing, and because it was the way that Cayley was, we didn't have a washing machine in our place, so we'd have to go to like a laundrette. I was like, this is just long. So what I used to do is I used to not wash my clothes, but I used to wash my underwear and my socks in my sink. to just put a bit of washing powder and plug the sink in
that's
and
cool.
just do
That's
it.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, but I was like, this is nasty. I'm hand washing my like underwear and my socks and not washing anything else.
do you know what? At least you're doing that, and you're not just like leaving it.
But then at term time, I'd go back like Santa Claus with a massive black bag, and just dump it in my mum. And
yeah,
do
you know what it is, right? It's like because I used to do. Don't get me wrong, I used to do my washing and stuff like that. But then if I had but if I had my dirty laundry, like I'd take it back home, but for the pure reason that like my mum liked doing that stuff. Like obviously, I went away to uni at the same time my brother went to uni as well. So like her 2 boys were missing, and so there was like a bit of a gap. There's a bit of a void basically where. You know, she wants to feel like a mum, and like part of it feeling like a mum to her anyway.
Doing this stuff like
exactly. I know that seems kind of like sexist or something like that, but she genuinely enjoys doing that kind of stuff, and like all the other bits that come with being a mum as well. So I totally get that.
Did you take student loan?
I did take student loan
for maintenance and accommodation, or the full thing.
Yeah, still paying that off.
Still paying it off.
Yeah, still going to be paying that.
Luckily, imagine if you like did uni like 3 or 4 years later, you're paying like $9,000 a term rather than $3,000 or whatever we paid.
It's mad.
It's unfair.
In hindsight, like at the time I didn't really understand because I was like 18 at the time. Yeah, and you just kind of go through the forms and you kind of do what feels right for you, I guess. But in hindsight, I wish. I didn't do the loans so much, and I kind of paid some of it off by myself, and that makes sense. But
paying for it now.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I like part of that conversation kind of links back to what I was saying about in terms of like managing your own money and things like that. Yeah. And obviously you kind of get your loan, and you know there's this real temptation to be like really to be like really frivolous with it. But at the same time, you have to understand that you've got that money for the term, and you have to pay rent, you have to pay like utilities and stuff like that, you have to buy food. Speaking of which, on food, I remember my last year I was like living on the breadline almost. I was spending like £20.
Fun though, right?
It's fun, and it's proper life lessons for this. But like my last year I was spending like £20 like every 2 weeks for food. And it forces you to be like really resourceful.
So £10 a week.
Yeah, £10 a week.
What are you eating for that?
So I was eating things like I'd buy like a 4-pack of tuna. I'd buy like frozen chicken breasts, which sounds completely. I know I don't really eat meat anymore, but like when I did eat meat, like I was only buying like fresh stuff. Yeah. But like the frozen stuff was like really, it was really cost effective. Stuff that was inexpensive, so things like big packs of rice or pasta, and then you buy like all your little odds and sods to make it
together for a cheap meal.
But like I remember throughout uni, I never bought juice.
Really?
I was either drinking water or I bought cider. Or like Tesco cider. Or cider. No, not even cider. Like we used to buy like double concentrate, like not Ribena, but like the Tesco values.
Shit like that you got to do though, innit? But so even like maybe it's just me, but I still do that today. But I still go to the shop and be like, why am I paying $2.99 for Ribena when it's the same thing as like 50p?
Like real talk. Like I don't. If you look at my fridge, like I buy like free juices like every time I do a shop. But apart from that, I'm drinking water. That's about it.
Yeah. To be fair, same.
So that was the good thing about uni, is like it just forces you to be like quite resourceful.
I literally at uni I had 3 meals, I think it was. So one was a chicken and cottage pie, like chicken and mushroom pie that I bought from Sainsbury's. One was a steak and ale pie that I bought from Sainsbury's, and the third meal was
proper Englishman, right?
Proper English.
Like, the third, I'm about to have a fucking pie, mate.
Pie. I just didn't drink the beer. The third one's going to shock you. Now you call me an Englishman.
Yeah.
So the third one I used to do is I used to make my own chicken fried rice.
What?
Chinese, yeah. I don't know why. I'd never made it.
What is this, like stir fry?
So I used to like boil rice, then fry it in a pan, add soy sauce and chicken and oyster sauce to make it nice and sweet. Yeah. I used to basically the 3 things I used to eat. That was it.
Okay.
But I've never had any of them since.
Yeah, I used to. So what meals I used to do like tuna pasta bake.
Yeah, nice.
I used to do,
that's quite a good meal for a uni student.
It was good because like it used to last like quite a while. You'd maybe get like 3 meals out of that. Yeah. I used to do like stir fries. I'd do like chicken.
Check you out. You proper cook. Well, you're a proper chef.
Yeah, I love it. To be fair. But then also some of the time, like me and my housemates, like we used to like occasionally like we used to cook for each other as well. So like I remember my
You
housemate.
guys are nice, man.
Yeah, but my housemate Elle, like that's who I learned tuna pasta bake from, because he used to get like the Coleman's, used to get like the packets of Coleman's for tuna pasta.
The branded stuff. The branded stuff.
You sound confused by that, but no, this packet was like 70p or something.
Okay, fair enough.
But it used to transform the meal. But yeah, I learned tuna pasta bake off Elle. My friend Adam used to cook Rocky Road chicken.
Rocky Road chicken? Rocky Road? No,
sorry, maybe it's like Rocky. What did he call it? It was actually pretty sick. I don't know if it's called Rocky Road chicken, but it's like Rocky something like that. But he used to take a chicken breast, put like some cheese on it, and then put some like bacon on it, and then put some barbecue sauce on it. Maybe not in that order, but
I feel like I've seen this before, but I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember. It's not called Rocky Road chicken, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, like every so often, like we used to cook for each other as well. So like that used to be one of our meals. Jules, yeah. So when
Did you live with Jules?
Second year, I lived with Jules.
In what? Not because third year you lived in a place not too far from me, like just up the road to the left.
So second year we were out of the way. We were in like Sharpley Road, which was like near to the it's near to the library.
Oh, okay. Library jokes though.
Yeah, but like I used to live like that year. I used to live with Jules and then Elle and Adam.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jules used to cook, or Jules used to sometimes get like jollof rice from his parents. Yeah,
lovely.
Mum.
You must have been loving that when they come back with a tub of jollof rice.
So this is the first time, because I'm Jamaican. Like, this is the first time I had jollof rice.
You never had it before?
Yeah, this is the first time I had it, and I was like,
game changer.
Yeah, I was like, this is live. It's not rice and peas, but it's.
Oh, come on! Don't do that. Don't do the whole Creps and Conan song. Fell off with jollof, rice and peas.
I'm not even gonna front. Like I prefer. If you offer me jollof rice and peas, and plain rice, I'm probably taking plain rice.
What?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah.
But just plain rice on its own?
No, I have to have it with something.
Like what? Like gravy?
No, like chicken or something like that.
Yeah, but
like,
what's the sauce or the kind of flavour on the rice?
Yeah, okay. I need to pair it with something. If you're asking me on its own, then I'm picking rice and peas. If I'm having it with something, like if I'm say for sake of argument, I'm having it with like jerk chicken, and you give me all three rices, I'm picking plain rice.
You know what's changed my life? It's obviously my wife Jay. She's Gambian, and they do something.
Shout out Jay, by the way.
Oh, shout out Jay,
one of the realists.
My love. Is they do, it's kind of like jollof rice, but it's called Benachin.
Okay.
So argument is that it's actually the original jollof rice.
Okay, right.
And it's jollof rice was stolen from Gambia or Senegal, and Benachin is the original. It's
I
not
didn't even know. I always thought the debate was Nigerian versus Ghanaian.
Yeah, but apparently Senegalese, like, because it's like Wolof is the language and Jollof was the rice first, and then now it's adapted to Jollof. But her mum makes the Benachin, and it's kind of like jollof rice, but it's honestly, I know I'm half Nigerian, but this Benachin is just the Gambian jollof rice.
That's the one.
Oh, honestly, next time you're over, I will give you some. It's honestly, it's the one, bro.
Just a quick aside: when I went to your wedding, so like when I went to your wedding, that's the first time when I really had like all types of like like Nigerian,
because of Gambian food there as well.
Yeah, like that's the first time I had all like African food. Lit.
We were worried, you know, because obviously like being half my family's not from that, and most of my friends I grew up with don't know that kind of food. And what we didn't want to do is obviously go to a wedding where everyone's like, "Oh, this food is dead. I'm only eating it." But everyone said the same thing, like the food is banging. To be fair, I didn't have any of it. But.
No, absolutely litty. To be fair, so yeah, I there's a Nigerian restaurant like near to me as well called Anish, and
do you go there?
I've been there once.
Was the service long? I love Nigerian restaurants.
A little bit, but to be fair, it's like I'm kind of used to it because I'm Jamaican. Like I'm kind of used to like the dead customer service. It's better. It's better than what you get in a Jamaican shop. Jamaican shop is like,
it must be really bad in Jamaican shop then.
Bruv, when you go to a Jamaican shop or when you deliver from or get it delivered from Deliveroo,
it takes time. Oh, bless them. The thing is, you can't hate because they're trying. Oh, never hate on them because they're trying. Bro.
I mean, they try, but they need to try harder. I'll say this as a Jamaican. We Jamaicans need to get better at serving Jamaican food and doing it with a smile with customer service because it is dead in
Nigeria's
some places.
Trying, bro. Like when I first went to Nigeria, like customer service would be like a foreign language. Now it's kind of like you can tell they've like gone on training and stuff. I know sidebar, but customer service in Nigeria is not like England, but it's getting there, man.
We need,
Big up
we need,
Nigeria.
us Jamaicans, we need to step up our customer service game because it's a little bit weak at the
Yeah.
moment. But
I was
Yeah.
going to say at uni, like, if you could look back at yourself now, I
Mm.
know we spoke about it before, but if you could rewind your time and be like 10 years ago, your first, second, third year, whatever, you've got a week at uni. What are 3 things that you'd do, knowing everything that's happened now, that you didn't do in those years you were at uni?
that's a good question, actually. I think one, I don't know if this is like an activity per se, but I think just to encompass all 3, I just make the most of all of it. Because like we were talking off camera, like I feel like, you know, I was living pretty much by myself for 3 years, and I feel like we were talking about like dating and stuff. Like I never went on a date during those 3 years,
Yeah,
which I think was a little bit of a shame
yeah.
because, you know, between 18 to 21, like that's the time when you're kind of
It is, but you don't date at that. At uni, it's
you
rare that
don't
you
date,
date,
but
yeah.
at the same time, like I just think it's a bit of a shame that throughout that time I never went on a proper date.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'd say that's one thing. I'm trying to think of others.
Study harder. No.
No, I was alright at studying, to be fair. I think the other thing, actually, I know the second thing. The second thing is I'd play more sport. That's one thing I wish I did because so basically before I got to Loughborough, I used to play sport all the time at school, both secondary and primary school.
Football?
Yeah, football. Football was my main sport, and I used to be quite good at like a lot of sports as well. And when I went to Loughborough, or part of the reason why I went to Loughborough is because I was like, it's a sports uni. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. But when I got there, I was focused on football. I kind of missed one of the I went to one of the football trials. I missed the second one,
Yeah.
and that kind of set me back a little bit. And I
Yeah,
was starting off
same
with
with
like I think I was in the 5th team or something like that of
Yeah.
football. And even at the 5th team level at Loughborough, it's really intense. Like
Yeah.
I was going to training like 6 o'clock in the morning. Training.
Is that what they
till-
did?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Imagine the middle of winter, you're training 6 o'clock in the morning
That's
till
long.
like 8. And that's what I was saying. It's like I was
6
like,
in the morning.
yeah.
You've probably been on the night pissed the night before.
Well, this is
isn't
what
it?
I mean. Like this is, I think it must have been on a Thursday, and then you've obviously gone to Hey You on a Wednesday, and to keep doing that when you know you're in the 5th team,
Yeah,
just,
it's hard.
a
isn't it?
little
In the
bit
first or
demoralising.
second, you can kind of get over it because you know you're playing good standard.
Yeah, one I wouldn't call it a regret as such, but like one thing I wish I took more advantage of when I was at uni is like the sports, especially at a place like Loughborough where they're like being an elite level sportsman is like that's their MO.
Yeah.
I wish I kind of tried harder with that, but at the same time, I don't regret it. But I wish if I went back, I'd definitely try harder in that respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sports, the dating, I'd say 2. The third thing, I don't know if there is a third thing actually. I think, yeah, you might have to come back to me on that. But yeah, I think those are the 2 things. Like looking back, where I wish.
Sport and date more.
Yeah, you make me sound like a dog or something.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. No,
Yeah, I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
apart from those 2 things, I think I feel I
You
made the
come
most
close.
out of
Yeah,
my uni
I'd be
experience.
the-
What about you?
I'd echo the natural, like dating, taking more advantage of like living on your own and having your own place and living with your friends in terms of socializing more. Like habit. I wish maybe I got involved in more people and knew more people because I feel like I got my friendship group quite early on and that was my friendship group. I didn't branch out as much. Interestingly, a lot of the people I speak to kind of that went to Loughborough now are people that weren't really my friends. And I've met them through like Jay or at weddings from other people. And it's like, oh, you went to Loughborough as well. And I wish that, oh, you're quite a cool person. I wish that at uni we were chill together. Obviously, yeah, the dating more would like, as you said, it's like you don't realise at that age like you've got a whole house. And yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if I went on a date, maybe 1 or 2, but really didn't make enough of dating. Sport, interesting you say that about you missed a training session and then you got knocked to the fist because exactly the same thing happened to me. Like
it's so ruthless at Loughborough
is,
because
isn't it?
they're
And
such an elite like sport.
and unless
like,
you're
uni.
amazing,
yeah,
then you play for the fist, and unless you're literally like head and shoulders above everyone, they won't move you up.
yeah.
Even if you belong in the seconds, unless you're like demonstrating like crazy skills every time, they
the
won't.
talent pool at Loughborough is super
it's
deep.
nuts.
To be honest, I was just thinking. I just thought about like the kind of the third thing, although it doesn't strictly speaking involve me being at Loughborough, but the third thing I kind of wished off the back of being at uni was like keeping in touch with more people from uni. because like I met some like really nice people at uni who are like probably the most genuine people who I've ever spent time with. Like the guy Jimmy, who I mentioned earlier, is like one of the nicest guys, one of the most genuine guys who you'd ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
And like for no like sinister reason at all, apart from the fact that like he's in Burnley, I'm in London, and we just don't really see each other and stuff like that. But I know for a fact, like I haven't seen Jimmy in like 10 years, but I know for a fact if we were to meet up,
It'd be like pick up where you left off.
it'd be all love, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, part of me just wishes that I kind of kept in people with people like Jimmy, people like the guys who I lived with and stuff like that.
But it's easy. It's hard though, like when you're working and.
But it's not. Yeah, like I say, I know that when we meet up, or if we were to meet up, it'll be fine. But I think to not have that consistent conversation is a little bit sad. But it is weird.
Do you know, like, my third thing that I'd probably say is like I don't think I travelled enough to uni to visit other people at uni. So I got a lot of
friends.
Yeah, so like I got a lot of friends who like one of my best mates went to Cardiff. I never went to visit him. I wish I did, just to experience kind of what that was like on a night out. A lot of my friends went to like Bristol and stuff like that, and also not taking advantage of like being at uni and being able to screw it, let's just go to like Amsterdam for the weekend, like catch a £10 bus there. Like you can do that at that age. Like, stuff like that.
Do you ever regret not doing being things like, I can't remember what it's called, but like, you know, being like a social sec and stuff like that.
Fuck that. Nah, because then you're tied down to kind of, and when the new class come in, you have to like take them out. I remember like the first thing they did is like you had to down like 4 pints of milk, and that's never been my style. Like it's funny to watch, but it's never been my style. But I'm glad I wasn't forced to be a social sec, because
you have to be a certain
you have
type
to
of
love
character.
to go out. Like literally, even when it's a shit night out, you have to love being able to go out on that night, and that just wasn't me. Like, I like to go out on a few nights where I know it's just gonna be lit. But no, social sec I wouldn't be. It'd just be like traveling a lot more would be something I definitely want to do. Like I definitely should have gone to a lot more of my friends at uni and different unis. But
what like for you, what's like the best memory or memories that you have from uni?
That's a good question. I mean, I think one of the best memories I have is actually when I went back to Loughborough a year after I graduated.
I suppose when you go back,
it's like I realised that. And honestly, it was just because I was like, it's a year after, and a lot of my friends in the year below, they were like kind of coming to their peak. It was like their leaving party, and also a few of the people that were still there and doing a 4-year course maybe. It was just like seeing them all again. It was just such a sick night, and I was just like, obviously not been back to like Cogs for a year, and then seeing DJ Bang Bang again was just bringing it all back.
Do you know what's funny about Cogs is like I'll still talk to people about Cogs to this day. So like my friend Kiri, who I mentioned, so like Kiri and I went to school together, like secondary school, but then he went to Loughborough as well. But like we'll still talk about Cogs. I don't know if you know. Do you remember Emma Payton?
Payton.
Yeah. So Emma Payton's like, she's like a Sky Sports News reporter like now.
Oh no. So,
but like
she at Loughborough.
Yeah, she was at Loughborough. You'd remember if you saw her.
Okay.
But like when I used to work at Sky, like we still used to talk about Cogs like almost 10 years.
She loved it as well.
Yeah, like literally everybody
it's hard
loved.
Not to love it.
Yeah, everybody loved Cogs, and it's all those kind of those nuances that you kind of get at uni that I just think it kind of, without kind of overselling it, like you think about for life.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee, like if we were to talk in 10 years' time, we would kind of refer to like Cogs or freestyle and whatever, and I just think uni just in general, just like it's a time in your life where like you will remember it forever.
I think so. I mean, one thing I wish we were a bit more like America. And you know, in America they do like
frat parties.
That as well, that would have been sick. But you know, they do like reunion the class of like 2010. You don't really do that in England, but it'd be quality to like meet up with everybody now to see where everyone is. Like I'm lucky that like obviously Jay went to Loughborough, and she's like stays in touch with a lot of people. So like one way or another, like she might arrange like a double date or something. I'll meet someone that went to Loughborough just through her, and it's like it's interesting to see where people are. But I'd love to like maybe like just do like a whole class reunion or a whole year reunion. And
do you keep in touch with a lot of people from you?
Like you, like maybe like 10 people, a handful of people, but Jay's a lot more. I think girls in general have their cliques in it, so she's.
It depends. Like one of my friends, John, like he's got like a lot of his friends from uni, and he's like lived with some of them as well. But yeah, like me personally, yeah, apart from you, maybe like a few others, like it's kind of few and far between. I think that the annoying thing is like a lot of my friends, they're kind of scattered all around like the UK as well.
It's hard, isn't it, when you're not all together in close places.
Like,
it's hard.
For instance, like back in around Christmas time, I was at a club in Shoreditch, and I saw like quite a lot of Loughborough people. So Gabriel was there.
How's he doing?
Yeah, it was good. Gabriel was there. TJ was there. Selassie was there. Again, these people you would know when you saw them.
Yeah, I know the other two you said.
Yeah, like Selassie was there. Ben Harris was there. I don't know if you know Ben Harris, but like again, he's probably someone who you'd know if you see him. Ben Harris is there. Dom Swan was there. Another Ben was there as well. But like it was like, and literally like some of those guys like I hadn't seen in about 10 years.
Must be quality to see him again.
Yeah, it was really good, and it was kind of like. It was like we'd never kind of like been away kind of thing, like, and that's the thing that I really kind of like respect about uni.
So like Jay, like a lot of her close friends are still her uni mates. So people just come around the house and it'll be like people from like uni. You're right. It's nice to see them and see like how they've changed and how they've developed
and even at your wedding, like I was chatting to people, like the people who were on my table, like they went to Loughborough. I'd never met them before.
I can't even remember who they were.
I can't. Yeah, neither can I.
Probably Jay's friends, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But like you start reminiscing about cogs and whatever basically, and even
I'd love to just clip my fingers on like one night out just at cogs.
You're like hanging on to cogs,
just or wherever room one. It'd just be jokes to relive it. I loved our little house as well because we were quite rare that we had a whole house between me and Noah, and it was like a cool little house that we had with like a garden and stuff. I'd love to just go back there.
I loved our last house was lit as well because we had like a really nice living room. Like we had a massive TV. We had the speakers in the ceiling.
What is it?
Yeah, we had speakers.
Did you do that yourself, or that came with the house?
No, that came with the house.
Oh, nice.
So, funny story about the house that we lived in the third year. So when we went there, initially when term started, it wasn't ready. So we were in a B&B for like a couple of weeks. And obviously at a B&B, like you're only getting breakfast, you have to sort out dinner.
Yeah, of course.
So I remember during those times, like I was eating like a lot of fast food. So I was having like McDonald's. I was having McDonald's. It was like McDonald's, Subway, and maybe KFC or something.
Yeah, that's your diet, was it?
Oh man, it was the worst. I remember I must have had like McDonald's like 3 times a week, and I was sleeping so much. I was like, this can't be right.
Good for you.
But anyway, like that house that we had was like a really nice setup. Like like I said, we had a lit living room. We had like a jacuzzi type.
What?
It wasn't a jacuzzi, but it was like a jacuzzi type bath.
Yeah.
It was like a bath that had like jet sprays in it and stuff like that.
We had like a little for it, then.
Yeah, we had proper, and then we had like a little garden and stuff.
Yeah.
And just the people who I lived with were just mad chill. Like I didn't even know like 2 of them.
Yeah. No.
Like 2 of them were.
How'd you find them then? Do you just like...
Well, so like 2 of the guys who I'd lived with like the year before.
Yeah.
And then we were in the same halls before then. And the other 2 guys, so there was like 5 of us in total. Like the other 2 guys, they were just people in their course.
Oh, okay. So
but
it's
like
friends of friends type.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they were mad cool as well. So but yeah, it's just that feeling of like, I remember seeing like a meme of this a while ago of just like uni's like being on the dole, but like your parents are like proud of you.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it was. It was like you'd go in my last year, I had 10 hours of lectures a week, which is nothing. It's like 2 hours of lectures a day.
Any lecture before 12 o'clock, I was not there. Bro.
And like other than that, I was in LA Fitness.
Yeah. That's the same as I. Yeah.
LA Fitness, or I was just like on YouTube or like watching Hollyoaks or something like that. But
what I used to enjoy, not because of the studying, I used to enjoy library time, like 2-3 weeks before. Basically, I was one of those people that just didn't work during like term, and then 2-3 weeks before an exam just try and cram.
Yeah.
But we'd always go to the library and would just live like, nocturnally, so like live in the night, sleep during the day. But everyone used to do that, so the library was just jokes. I remember we set up a can you remember Football Manager?
Yeah.
And you used to be able to play the network games.
Oh yeah.
You'd always have to be on the same network.
Yeah.
and this obviously before Wi-Fi was like as good as it is now. So we used to hop on the library network and play like a football match. So I'd be like downstairs.
Football Manager is like one of my favourite games.
Honestly,
ever
and
as
we
well.
did Monopoly.
Yeah.
It was just library sessions were just
Yeah.
honestly, we'd order food there.
Yeah.
It was just a joke's time, like revising for these exams, like no one not knowing anything.
It was
just playing games and
Uni's just like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a period in my life where I'm just like
I would want my children to go, even if
100%.
they're not going to follow an academic type career. I think the skills that, as you said, you mentioned earlier, what you learn from uni is worth it.
Yeah, the life skills. Without being too wanky about it, like the life skills that you learn from uni in terms of managing your money, like communicating,
living on your own,
living on your own, communicating with different cultures and all that kind of stuff. That's almost like finishing school for being like an adult.
Yeah.
And like that's the biggest thing. Like I was saying to you before, like that's the biggest thing that I learned, rather than like what's actually
what you
my
actually
degrees.
Learned. Yeah, because that can. Quick final question for me: if you could rewind and do your 3 years again, would you pick Loughborough, knowing what you experienced in Loughborough, or would you pick like a metropolitan uni, like a Leeds, Nottingham, London-based?
Yeah, no, I'd pick Loughborough.
So Loughborough is it for you?
Yeah, I think. Like I was saying before, I had reservations before I went there, but like when you actually get there,
it's jokes.
Yeah, it's jokes. I think it's. I kind of see similarities between like Loughborough and Croydon in terms of like. So
explain that one to me.
Yeah, I will. So like people who don't know Croydon think it's like a shithole, and they just think it's got like a little bit of a bad rap. But when you kind of get into Croydon and Loughborough, you understand it's kind of got everything that you kind of need in terms of like. It's got good clubs. It's got places to eat as well. Like the Basin, like we used to love the Basin. I know it's like one of like maybe 2 restaurants in.
Is that like the fake Waggers?
Yeah. It's the one near to what's that multi? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was new.
Building?
It only came in like 2nd or 3rd year though.
Yeah. It wasn't at the start, but it's got places to eat for a student that are like decent.
Yeah.
You can get to like big towns nearby.
Like
so
Birmingham.
so you can go to Nottingham. You can go to Leicester if you want to. It's not too far away.
Never did.
No, I went to Nottingham a decent amount because like I had a friend, my friend John went to uni there. So it's got like decent transport links to where you need to go. Like the nightlife there is like deceptively good as well. Like people think the nightlife in Croydon is shit, which nowadays it probably isn't that great, but like back in the day it was actually pretty lit. But like Loughborough nightlife, like I say, like it can stand up to any other nightlife that I've been to.
On a one-off, not in a.
No, I wouldn't say. Yeah,
it's a one-off. Yeah,
a one-off. If you gave me the option of having a one-off night in Loughborough versus a one-off night in Sheffield, I'm taking Loughborough. Yeah. If you give me a one-off night in Loughborough versus Nottingham, I'm probably taking Loughborough again, to be honest.
Yeah, no, Loughborough's a one-off night just because it's got that whole kind of everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, I think that's
boarding school vibe.
Yeah.
It's jokes, yes. Yeah. But a week of going out in the same club, seeing the same people gets a bit boring.
Like I say, 3 years was enough for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, like I feel like I compare it to Croydon because I feel like more than anything, it gets a little bit of a bad rap, but like when you kind of break down its individual pieces, it's got everything that you need for a student in terms of Loughborough.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I say, I'm very happy with the decision I made because I almost came close to going to Leeds instead.
Leeds, that would have been good as well. Though.
It would.
My cousins went to Leeds and they rave about it.
Yeah, but I'm definitely glad I went to Loughborough as well. So
no, I'm happy. I'm happy as well. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like in terms of the things I guess this is maximising your time when you're there, but you always kind of gonna look back and say, I wish I did this. But in the whole, I agree with you that Loughborough is a great place to be, and 3 years generally were great, top class, really.
Yeah, man,
proper good fun.
Shout out Loughborough.
Big up Loughborough.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching 30 Years and Running. Please subscribe, comment, and share. See you next week. Peace.